What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another full recap of today's price action. Today's Tuesday, the 21st of April. I took two trades today, one break even and one winning trade. I stayed patient, waited very, very late for this winning trade, but me and everybody on the Discord live stream took this winning trade. It's a great trade to take. Let's deep dive into this whole day's worth of price action, how I changed my bias halfway through the day, very, very simply as well. So, which has actually allowed me to catch the winning trade that I did. So let's go to the charts and let's go to roughly where market open was right here, and let's jump into the analysis today. So coming into the day, I was obviously open for longs. However, I was slightly more bearish, and I'll tell you why. So first of all, we had this nice bearish SMT at the high. So basically ES had not swept this high. And we had a very bearish reaction initially from this sweep. I know it's all-time highs, but what I mean when I say I won't short at all-time highs is, say, for example, let's say this is all-time highs, right? If we sweep all-time highs, there is no way I'm going to take a short off of the all-time highs sweep. However, if we have strong bearish order flow, I'm happy to take a potential continuation short from, for example, a delivery here, and then an inversion fair value gap in a leg here. These are the types of plays I'm happy to take, but I will never ever short off of an all-time highs sweep. So I was not open to short straight away. I needed to see confirmation that we were going to be bearish. I had nice sell side targets. I really liked this obvious low inside of this 4-hour fair value gap to the left. And we also had sort of this low, which was a strong draw as well. So this low was the low from where we gapped down on Sunday evening. It was a big spike down and back up. So I knew there was going to be a lot of liquidity below this. So that was a nice draw that I had resting below. And if we just play market open here, you can see we manipulated down instantly, right? We manipulated straight down. Of course, I need to be confirmed bearish. I'm still open to long positions because we're at all-time highs. So subconsciously, you're always going to be open to longs and somewhat bullish. We had this nice little bit of trendline liquidity above, and we did actually put in a 930 wick off of open, which gave me a short-term bullish bias. With the 930 wick above, obviously close to all-time highs. So as you can see here, this was all-time highs. I had that maxed out all session, and as you can see, we're putting a gap here. So let's just play a price forward. So this is where I put in a 5-minute fair value gap. So I was open to taking this 5-minute. If you look to the left, we had this nice 15-minute fair value gap here that price respected very, very strongly. If we play price forward, huge rejection wick there, and then we pumped. So same with the 30-minute. We had such nice delivery here. So this was me using this fair value gap as a condition, and also the sweep on this level of sell side as a condition. If we'd have blasted through this, I would have been bearish for sure. However, we didn't. We reacted very bullish off of this, so I was open to taking this 5-minute. However, we did not get it. We got the 4-minute, we got the 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute. We got all the setups apart from the 5, and I was looking for the 5 because I wasn't super confident, and I wanted to see the 5, which was the most obvious time frame in the leg. Now, unfortunately, we got the candle close too high, so no setup there, and we already swept the 930 wick, which was my main draw above. So I wasn't a massive fan of this trade because we had very little buy side targets besides the 930 wick. We're near all-time highs, and at this point we're very high up. So now I was looking for a continuation long to take us to all-time highs. So I needed to see a 5 or 15-minute fair value gap put in. As you can see, we put one in here, and we then do get a dump down towards this 5-minute. So I was looking for this 5-minute, right, to get tapped in to take us higher. I would never short this close to all-time highs to the unfilled 5. So I would never use this as a draw to target. I would only use this as a potential area to take a reversal from to continue us back to all-time highs, because I see there was a potential short here at the top, but personally, I will never short this close to all-time highs, especially when we've got this much bullish structure at the moment. We're blasting through. We've got a huge rejection at the lows here. We also inversed the 5-minute. We just inversed this 5-minute to the left. I thought, okay, we're heading to all-time highs here. I'm surprised we've even got the pullback in the first place. I wasn't expecting to get a pullback, so I would never try to short the pullback here. Like I said I think it was Friday's video, I said this exact same thing. When we're coming up at all-time highs like this, you're trying to catch these moves here. You are not trying to catch this move. You let this move happen, and then you take this move. It's that simple. That's how you trade all-time highs. You do not try to catch the pullbacks. So I was waiting here. Simply waiting. We got a little 1-minute gap here. I would have preferred this to be more obvious, but this aligned very nicely with what I wanted to see. we hit sort of the 50% of this huge leg. We delivered out the 5 minute right here. So now I was open to a long to take us higher. And as you can see, we had that fair value gap. In just 2 candles, we inversed this. And I was in long here. I was just targeting a 1-to-1. So I had a hard stop under this body. I say this multiple times. When we have a smaller fair value gap, I will not put a hard stop right under this gap because it gives the trade no breathing room. And these size fair value gaps are not good levels of support and resistance. We need obvious fair value gaps if we're going to have good levels of support and resistance. So price can easily come back below this gap and then take us higher, which pretty much happened here. And that saved me from an unnecessary loss, as you can see. We got quite a bearish candle there, and then we recovered and went back up to my break-even point. And I don't know what happened mid-candle here, but I was almost at my TP because I only targeted a 1R. So I was very close to my TP, and then price just decided to just dump straight down mid-candle here. So I got wrecked on that, and the break-even here did save me from a loss eventually. So now I was thinking, okay, so ES was very bearish here. We were coming very close to this low on ES, and we were dumping down. We were inversing these gaps to the left, so I was now in the mind of a short, but we're too close to all-time highs. So I wanted to see this low get displaced through with strong momentum for me to then take a continuation short. Now, I usually stop trading at 11 a.m. roughly, 11 to 11:15. And as you can see here, when we reached 11 a.m. or yeah, 11:10, I was thinking there's definitely potential for a continuation short here. I zoomed out to the higher time frame. We had an hourly inversion here. We failed strongly to bounce from the 50% of this leg. We absolutely ripped through it. So I was looking for a continuation short to take us to these draws that I marked out earlier on in the session. So I was looking for a continuation short here. So I'm looking for a 5 or a 15-minute gap to get tapped into. As you can see here, we had a 15-minute gap resting above. Yeah, so here is when we created a 15-minute gap. We had a 5-minute already tapped into, but now we just created a 15-minute. So this is where we had the 15-minute fair value gap put in. And I was looking for a nice bounce out of this 15-minute fair value gap, and then I was looking to take shorts back down to lows. And this is literally the only reason. If you're on my live stream, you'll know that this was the only reason I stayed on stream, because I thought there's a good chance of a continuation short here. We have a lot of liquidity below. I'd like to see prices lower now. And as you can see, we actually pulled back into this 15, and now I'm thinking, okay, this is really good. So we left this obvious gap. We've tapped into the 15-minute fair value gap nicely. And as you can see, price delivers a beautiful reversal right here. And I simply entered on this candle close. Did not overcomplicate this whatsoever. Entered on the candle close off of this 15-minute fair value gap. We kind of got a mini AMD here. So you see how we kind of accumulated here, manipulated the highs, and then potential for the distribution lower. So I entered on the candle close. I did not get a good fill at all. I had a hard stop just above the inversion here. And I simply targeted 1R to this. I scaled at this unfilled 1 minute here because I simply was scaling at 1R, and then I was going to leave a runner to try and go for my external targets. I would have just trailed my stop loss when we got to this low. So this trade played out super nice. We had equal lows to go break even at, as you can see here. This trade worked super, super nicely, and as you can see, really, really strong. So hit my first TP super, super quickly. Moved stop loss to break even when we swept these equal lows. And it was just a beautiful trade, worth waiting for sure. And patience always pays. This is the trade that I caught today. Unfortunately, I did get stopped at break even, but no FOMO there. I did exactly what my rules say. Scale at least 75% of my position at 1R, which is exactly what I did. And as you can see, anyway, we do just chop around. We don't really go to my target. We did get a beautiful setup right at the end of PM session that I did see. I believe it was on the 3-minute, because we did come back and then we did actually sweep the 15-minute high that we put in and then get an insane short off of it if you look here. So any second now. Yeah, here. So you see how we swept these highs right here. The highs that I took a trade off of. We swept the highs, and then we got a 3-minute death candle through here. And I do believe this was some type of news that made this play out so quickly. But yeah, still really good mechanical trade, despite the fact that there was actually news that distributors lower. But yeah, that was my trading day today. I'm super happy with this short that I took and waited patiently for. On top of all the confidences I just mentioned, if you actually go back here, you can see that at the time we were delivering perfectly from the 50% of the daily range at this moment in time. So you can see there, if you look at the daily candle, you just mark out the candle high to the candle low at that point in time, and then you go on to, for example, the time frame we're taking the trade on, and you can see that we were delivering perfectly from the 50%. So really nice little reversal / continuation, short back down there. If you guys want to trade live with me every single day, join the community. We are all smashing it at the moment. So many people getting payouts, passing accounts. We've had some great price action in April so far. So if you want to trade alongside me and join the team, check out the free Discord. The link is in the description. Subscribe for more free educational content. This has been a bit more of an in-depth video, but hopefully this has been useful to you guys because there was quite a lot of potential setups earlier in the session that I either faded or obviously I got break even on the 1 minute. And yeah, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more free educational videos, and I'll see all of you guys in the next video.